shit my.
Oh, that's gonna be on stream. Oh my
That's
god.
fine. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god. Fine him 25 points. Hello,
Yes.
and welcome to the Elite Racer Series from Darlington, race number 14 of Season 2. I'm here with Eli Bright, who will leave at some point mid-race and probably be back for the end because it's a long one. LT's our in-race reporter. Eli, Darlington throwback race, 2 races until the chase. I think the points are pretty much kind of settled at this stage. If I look at them, a good bit have locked up. KD's locked up. Arrow, Brennan, DBJ, Tango, Big Jim, BKR, AJ, and Allen have all locked up. LT's basically a lock with 2 wins. Pens and Koala have a good gap over the cut line, but Tiger could sneak his way, but he's locked with 2 wins. Jocko maybe as well. So Eli, Darlington's a long one. It's a tricky track. What do you expect to see here with all these throwbacks out on the track?
A lot of the wall. A lot of cars in the wall.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that glitch off of 2, which will probably cover, right?
Yeah, watch for the glitch off of 2 and also the apron in 3 and 4. Don't ask me how I know about the apron in 3 and 4. LT, where are you starting?
6th.
6th. Okay, who's on pole?
Yes. That would be Big Jim.
Big Jim's on pole. Not a surprise there. Just make sure if it starts raining, you tell Brennan quickly.
Oh yeah, I'll make sure to tell him. I hope he calls the caution not 3 laps after I say it. So.
Someone is a little. I don't know if I should really say salty because you're still happy about how the race ended. So.
Oh no, yeah, that was a good race.
But I think you're still salty.
Yeah, just about the first 8 laps.
Okay. Good to know. LT, how many people are racing?
14 at the moment.
14 at Darlington. Well, you know what? As long as it's not like X1, it's fine.
I don't think it'll be worse than that.
No. Is K-Sharp racing tonight? That's a... K-Sharp's a new addition to the series. But, it sounds like he might not be racing, so... We'll wait for K-Sharp's first appearance. He's a great guy, great racer. I'll be looking forward to seeing him out here in the series at some point in the future. And we're just trying to talk before the green flag because I may have started the stream too early. LT, can you give us a rundown of the field?
Of who's in it or where we're starting?
Where's people starting?
So the front row is Jim and KD. And then 3rd will be Tiger, 4th Brennan, 5th Brody, 6th me, 7th AJ, 8th, where's 8th? Arrow, 9th Alpha, 10th Allen, 11th Tango, 12th Pens, 13th BKR, and 14th Jocko.
Alright, Eli, with all those people that LT has just mentioned, who's your pick to win?
Ooh. I'll pick Tiger. You got good momentum from last week.
I will pick Brennan.
Oh,
we can join.
yeah, sorry.
Wow, way to go, LT. Way to go. Ruining everything. Hopefully my status is not coming to play for this race. Hopefully there is no huge crash, unbelievable crash.
I could make it happen.
Maybe if you hit the glitch hard enough off of 2, you can Jimmy Johnson it. What are the rules for cautions at this?
I think he said 3 laps.
3 laps.
I heard him say.
Alright, well for intermediates it should be... Oh no, wait, didn't they change it? Yeah, I think they downed it by a lap for all of them, so... I think it would be 3 laps. Obviously the same stuff as always, no stages, just a midway yellow. So it's likely we might get some long green flag runs as we're racing at Darlington. Big Jim clears into turn 1 in a Dale Earnhardt throwback. Eli, we're going to have to be guessing these all night long. KD just used the game 1. Tiger didn't make one.
I think the 9 for Casey.
It looks like Casey Kane's Farmers. If I had to guess, maybe.
I don't know if people are voting.
Brody's... Ooh. That could be like an old car though, with how that looks. LT is pink. Oh my god. That could be any breast cancer awareness throwback. I don't know which one, but I mean...
I don't...
Mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to get
AJ.
I mean, it looks like
So I'm looking at it, and I can just see... I can see the car in real life as he's at the wall. I can see the car in real life in my, like, head.
It's 87, the number is 87.
Yeah. Do you think that Brody's is a Target throwback? Like a Larson 2017-esque throwback? Alpha just behind them. Arrow's in the triple car 48 he got put in the wall. BKR's in the normal 11 throwback. Alpha, I can't get a good look at him. That looks like a Texaco throwback.
Yeah.
Maybe like a
Or is it a...
Javelin throwback. Maybe Texaco Javelin. I don't really know.
Like a rusty wall.
Oh, that's another good one. Oh man. Too many schemes look alike. Allen's in the normal Jimmy Johnson one. Tango may have already lagged out.
Yeah.
Poor Tango. And Pens, I'm trying to get a good look at his.
Jocko.
I can't even look at Pens looks like he might just be an AC Delco throwback.
Very easy.
And then Jocko, I'm looking at him right now. That thing is unique, I'll tell you that much. So it might be the most unique throwback out there besides highlighter pink out here.
Yes.
Meanwhile, KD leads, Tiger second, Big Jim back to third. Brennan is sitting in fourth, and the unmissable car of LT is right now in fifth. It's like Blaney's car from today in the darkness. Big Jim looks for second on Tiger, but Eli, it's a little hard to pass around here.
Yeah.
A little different. Very, very narrow track all the way around, and really, where do you think's the best passing spot?
Gotta get a good run off for knowing this game, you can't go below that.
Well, Big Jim is gonna do it right there. Tiger got into the wall off of 4. If he didn't, he had to check up and lost all his momentum. Big Jim easily clears for second. Started on pole, fell back to third, but now he's back up to P2. KD leads, and he leads points currently as well. Tiger's still now settling in third. Brennan is fourth, and there's LT's under fire for Brody. They're right now 5th and 6th. And I do know LT mentioned Elliott Sadler throwback, so it's probably an Elliott Sadler pink car. If I had to guess. The question is which one? I'm gonna look up Elliott Sadler breast cancer awareness car and see if I can find a 19. Let's see.
That one with the red bottom part.
There is one with the red bottom part. Is that red down there? Yeah, it looks red. LT, we found it.
Good. Good.
It's,
I didn't think you would.
Well, it's very easy when you look up Elliott Sadler breast cancer awareness car. He ran it at Kansas in 2010. Well, we got bound for the lead, Eli. Big Jim's going on the outside of KD. He couldn't get the power down, though. Yeah, no, he might lose it. Lose second. Now, here's the question. Who has to give? Big Jim's going to give entering turn 1. Later in the race, none of them would give.
In the wall. Okay, he is in the wall.
Very easy to do through 1 and 2. That's kind of a corner where you play chicken with the wall. How hard can I drive it in? As Brody is trying to get by LT, and he got very loose and almost spun. I think that's Alpha coming up right behind him. Alpha said he hasn't raced on Heat 5 for 3 weeks. The last time he did was X1 last night, but that was at Talladega. So might as well have just not raced on Heat 5 for 3 weeks. He raced just earlier in the Tango Super Truck Series. Finished third at Darlington, so looking back up here, and he's gaining on the front six. We're all kind of staying together. So Eli, do you think that this means that KD is not the fastest car of these front runners because of the line behind him?
Unless I get draft will take care.
That is true. If it's normal draft, you can just kind of hang with the guy in front of you. But from looking at Brennan's screen, it might be low draft, Eli, because he's not getting anything off of Big Jim. And he is right behind him. But we know Tiger, he likes to wheel it around these not normal racetracks. So, oh, but he just got in the wall there.
He's got the wall, yeah.
Oh, maybe inside wall as well. That was close. He'll let the field go. Oh, he merges right in front of Alpha, who has to be a little scared off of that. And luckily, no one gets to run over. And Tiger did a good job re-merging, though. He didn't just come right back up into the field, let everyone go. And no one who really had to worry there was Alpha, but he did a good job still, even with that. I thought I just saw a wreck in the background. No, it's just two blue cars going at it. It's Alan and Arrow, Hendrick teammates, each in their real-life throwbacks. Yeah, like Jocko's throwback is an interesting one.
I don't know what that is.
I'm trying to think of what that could be. The only thing that really is the car in front of that was the only thing that comes to mind with like a black and white car is when Larson ran that black and white Target car, but I think the only reason I'm thinking of that is just because it's a 42. So yeah. I don't think that's what it actually is, but I'm just... All I know is that LT running a 2010 Sadler car is hoping it doesn't hit the inside wall pretty hard. I was there! Fun fact. Anyway, Brennan's up to third. The only time, well, the only time I ever want to remember racing Darlington in Heat 5, Brennan won that. So, the other time we don't talk about when we race because that was just terrible. But Brennan is pretty handy around here, so... Oh, and Big Jim just knocked the wall down in front of him. See everyone dart to the inside. Big Jim kept in the wall to make sure it didn't come down. And now Brennan's up to second. LT's third. And you got the battle for fourth. You have Brody to the inside. Big Jim also looking inside of LT. But now with Katie starting to get a gap, do you think that maybe he ran a tighter setup and was maybe worse in the shorter run? Now maybe in the longer run starting to pay out when it gets looser. I mean, that could possibly be it. But we obviously don't know what these guys ran. LT, what'd you run?
What?
What'd you run?
Setup?
Yes.
5.
Alright, there you go. LT ran a 5. He doesn't sound happy about it, maybe?
It's tight.
Oh, okay. It's still tight. We can tell, LT. Just like the SRX where we get to interview the driver mid-race, this is amazing. I will say, the last Darlington race I watched, people ran 6s. So... we have to wonder if maybe KD could be on a 4, possibly. Some people could be on 6s, like LT. Some people could be on 5s, and I've even heard of people running 3s here. I would definitely never run a 3 here, but I'd say that the lowest I'd run would probably be a 5, honestly. But still, I mean, it's just kind of a line of cars right now behind KD. You have Brennan, LT, Brody, and then obviously Big Jim back to 5th, but then Tiger's also not too far back. Alpha's starting to lose it a little bit in that 26. BKR's also starting to come forward a little in the 11th. Yeah, he got right to the back of KD right there. I think KD, he just looks tighter than all the others behind him. He keeps going up the racetrack, and it looks like Brennan can really just hold that line down low, unless he hits the glitch off too. Then it's going to start getting a little worrisome, but... I mean, for the moment, just like Brennan can hold it lower than KD can, and... right there, though, KD blocked him off nicely. See Brody still trying to get around LT, who's looking behind Brennan. But Brendan has to be maybe getting a little frustrated with KD because he got right to his bumper in 3 and 4, but it's just hard to make a pass here. Really, and that's not going to help him make the pass. LT's going to pull out for a pass in 3 and 4. We'll see how that works. It's going to be very hard to try and make it stick. Brendan's going to be in the wall, though. And LT moves to second. And Brendan, with that one mistake, falls from second all the way back to, I believe that's 6th place. Right with Alpha now in 6th and 7th. So that's a tough break for Brendan. So we'll see if LT can do anything with KD. These two always find themselves around each other. Here they are, 1st and 2nd. Also, I think I failed to mention this. This is the last race of the Tough Track Challenge, where the person with the most points gets a good bit of playoff points. And currently, the Tough Track points, Big Jim leads BKR by 8. So, I mean, that's still not settled. 8 points you could definitely gain in one race. So watch out for BKR if he's ahead of Big Jim to be pushing to get ahead. Alan and Tango are a good ways back. Alan's 15 back, Tango's 16 back. KD's also 16 back. So watch for that. LT, I think, has only started one Tough Track Challenge race. So he's out of the running of it. Oh, Tiger just knocked the fence down off of 2. And that allows the front 4 to break away. Big Jim, Brody, LT, and obviously KD. Brody might be starting to lose the handle a little bit. He was on the bumper of LT for that whole run basically, but now he's starting to fall back into Big Jim, and LT, oh, KD got the wall, and LT's into his bumper. Now KD's on the apron, around the outside for Brody. That was just an unfortunate mess for the front 2. KD got the wall, and when he came off of it, LT had nowhere to go but into the back of the 18, which put him down with them. Caught his bumper grabbing, and Brody just took it around the outside 3 wide and got the lead. So I was just talking about how his car is maybe fading off, but he just took the lead.
It's pretty good now.
It's looking pretty good now, and I think Tiger's in the wall again, maybe? Someone was just in the wall. I think it was Tiger, because now he's back behind BKR and Alpha. So Tiger's not had a good stretch to the race so far, but still early on. I mean, this is a long race. In real life, it's 367 laps. And this one's 184, which I don't think the drivers like that any much better. So it's just a lot of time to make mistakes, and you have to have that midway yellow. And once you get that midway yellow, I mean, who knows what could happen on the restarts from there on out. 13 people, and if you start putting good guys further back, like, you know, if you put Tiger further back or KD further back, you know, they're going to want to try and move forward as quickly as possible. As at that time of the wall, it was Alpha. Which, as I look at it more now, it's starting to turn into a Rusty Wallace throwback. Miller Genuine Draft, possibly? You think that's what it would be? That was always one of my favorite Rusty cars. Just that. And it's on pit road. Yeah, he just pitted. So, I mean, oh, Jonko's also on pit road. So this would be a short pit. They have 7 laps of fuel left. Brendan's tires right now at 21 and 26. So possibly if they were maybe shredding the tires, they would pit early. But,
BKR.
Yeah, BKR's on the apron now. KD on the outside. But, with how long this first segment is, the race being 184 laps, the second is 92. So, I mean, you have to make more than one pit stop. So this could just be them maybe trying to split it in an equal amount. BKR's on the apron. Made it work, though. The one time I tried to do that in a league race at Darlington, I spun, so I tried to, I think it was like the lap after restarts. KD, oh my gosh.
Oh my.
That's a pit entry. That's not how I would have done it.
That
but
scared me. I thought he was like,
Yeah, I was expecting some major hit to the inside wall and then to come back up. Brody's done a good job out in front. LT and Big Jim are kind of in a battle for second and third right now. Big Jim's got loose though off of 2 LT gaps in a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see when these front 3 pits. Brennan will do the undercut on these drivers in pit. BKR being aggressive with pit entry. There's Brennan and a lot of people are pitting now. Alpha Tiger, Allen, Brennan, as you mentioned, this is a very tricky pit road. Some people are going to be taking it a lot less aggressively than others. LT is going to be pitting this time. That or he just hit the glitch really badly, but I would presume that is a pit signal. So you get 36 laps on fuel, with the stage being, or I guess the first half being 92 laps. That would be obviously 2 stops, 36.72, and then 108, but that would be past the midpoint. So split this up into thirds. That would be whatever the number is, like 30 laps each run, 30, 31. Arrow's also on pit road. Where is our leader? Brody's on pit road. Someone did stay out. They're in a custom car, so that's going to be hard to find. But someone did stay out another lap to inherit the lead. It could be... No, it's not Pens because he already boxed. Jocko pitted. Big Jim pitted, so... I'm having a hard time believing who this could be. Maybe AJ? Did he just pit? No, I mean, that would have been too fast.
He just came out. He's coming out.
Now, alright, so we see Tango on pit road. Is Tango actually on pit road? There's the question, right? Could that be Tango out there?
Yeah.
Big Jim's leader.
Big Jim's leader. Oh, I guess Big Jim had never pitted. Eli, we're fools.
We are goofy.
I thought Big Jim pitted. Now Big Jim's in the pit road. Thanks to our in-race reporter for paying attention to a leaderboard that he has that we don't. Now Big Jim's in pit road, so he'll do his service and get back out there. So I guess he was just pushing that to the limit. See how it would go if he had to go the whole distance, but I'm gonna go back and see where Brody is. There he is, coming off of 2. He has a nice gap over LT. They've just lapped Peds. He's just fallen 1 lap down. I think for sure with Big Jim staying out later, Brody should easily be the leader. What did Brennan do?
Wall.
Oh, Brennan was in the wall, looks
Brennan,
like.
or is that...
No, that's Brennan, I think.
I think it's wall.
Yeah, Brennan was definitely in the wall. I just looked at his string. So, not good for Brennan. The question is, where does Big Jim come out in all this?
Oh.
There he is. He's going to be... That's going to be...
Yeah, he lost.
5th.
Oh, the 8th in the
Oh
wall.
my god. Oh, now he's into Brennan.
Oh.
The last lap or 2 for Brennan has just not been it.
He does not sound happy, by the way.
Uh-oh. Angry Brennan. Now Big Jim has fresher tires than anyone out there. He's looking to move around KD in a hurry. Get to 4th. Looks like he should easily do that. BKR now up to 3rd. Remember, he and Big Jim are battling for the Tough Track Challenge bonus points. So watch out for these two. I mean, if they're... I don't know what the point system is and whatnot, but BKR needs to make up 8 points on Big Jim. I don't know if it's 1 point per position or if it's some staggered points format. We'll have to see. So meanwhile, Brody still leads by a decent margin over LT. I guess I go back and look at the points after the first race and see what the system was. So it's something like 35 for the winner of the race. 29-24, 20-17. So it is staggered a little bit. So that gives hope to BKR. If you can get up here and win, and Big Jim finishes like 4th or even 3rd, I think that would be enough to honestly get BKR the points he needs. So watch out for that. Meanwhile, though, Brody is just gapped everyone from behind, and LT in 2nd is just trying to hang on, it looks like, at this point, with BKR coming up behind him. Once again, they have another pit stop, so yeah, you can maybe make some adjustments on the car now to see how it works in the longer run or the shorter run. Maybe LT decided to loosen up. Maybe he didn't make any adjustments while other people loosened it up. So we'll just have to see how that all works out. If you don't like the adjustments you made here, that's just one run in a 184 lap on the adjustments for the next stop. And you're going to make another stop before halfway, so no worries in that department. LT, how you feeling?
Still tight. Loosened it up, but it didn't help.
All right, what's your wedge at now?
49 point, low 49 point something.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. How do you feel about Brody right now? Because he looks pretty fast.
He's gone. He's probably pulling about a couple of tenths on me every lap. I don't know. He's fast.
Now, Eli, this either shows that Brody made really good adjustments, or it just shows how hard it is to pass here, since Brody was stuck behind LT the whole last run.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Jim with those tires, he is definitely fast. He started on pole as well, but I mean, those few laps of tires obviously help, and BKR hasn't really been near the front. This is the highest he's been all races. He's going to let Big Jim go entering 3, so class move there to let Big Jim go, knowing the 3 was that much faster. Now Big Jim is at sight side LT. We'll see if LT, if Big Jim gets to him, does LT move over, or does he race him like a jerk? I don't know about you, Eli, but if it were me in that 3 car, he'd probably race me like a jerk, so.
I guess that would suck for you, wouldn't it?
I think there's a Tiger got loose off of 2. KD got in the wall in 3 and 4. And now it's KD in 5th, Tiger in 6th, Brennan in 7th. All just kind of right on top of each other, with Alpha just behind them in 8th as well. So this is a 4-car battle for position behind the front 4. Meanwhile, as we've seen, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th places are kind of coming together with LT, Big Jim, and BKR. And I'm hearing a loud buzzing noise outside, and it is it's very worrying. It sounds threatening, honestly. I don't know what that could be. Back to the race. Big Jim has closed in a few more car lengths on LT. Behind them, they're like fanning out. I think Brennan is making a pass on Tiger into 3 and 4. That's for 6th. Alpha trying to follow through. Brennan parked the bus on Tiger, which got him tight. And Alpha's through to 7th. Tiger back to 8th. Meanwhile, Big Jim still just gets ever so closer to LT. Oh, and LT's in the wall. That's going to help things. And now LT's going to go, I'll just let you by. Have fun with that spot.
Ouch.
Sounds like it was a hard hit for driver the 19. I don't know if it was the 51 Gs experienced by Max Verstappen earlier, but maybe if it were the next gen car. Anyway, back to the race. BKR now in the back bumper of LT for 3rd, and we'll see what Big Jim can do now with the tires and the fast car he has. Eli, do you think he can try and run down Brody?
I don't know. He's ran a lot of laps. Maybe that's probably evened out.
I would think they have evened out, but yeah, like you mentioned, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Big Jim can do. We'll see if he can try and pull away from LT. It looks like he's already doing that, so that'll help matters.
Oh,
that was a big moment. LT surrenders another spot to the 11 of BKR. The battle for 5th is still raging on. Oh, LT, oh my gosh. So, you loosened the car up. How do you feel about those adjustments now?
Not good. I don't know what to do.
Okay. This sounds like a driver in distress, Eli. Because Brennan is peeking out for a pass, it looks like, on KD. He's not close enough, obviously, but he is looking, and Alpha's looked much more racy this second run. He's gotten up right behind Brennan and KD. He's starting to get the feel of Darlington in a Cup car on Heat 5 back. It's very hard when you haven't raced a game for a few weeks. While it's not as hard as maybe some other games to pick up after a few weeks, you still do feel just a little off racing at a track like this if you haven't raced at a track like this in weeks. So, especially if you've been racing something like F1. Oh, Brennan! Oh, he put Katie in the wall! Oh man, there's a little tap in 3 and 4, and he kind of just finished it off. I think once he tapped him, he just gassed it up, and he kind of just like slammed him into the wall after that.
I don't know if Katie's gonna be happy with that.
No, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
And all that, Alpha tried to pass KD, and then KD put Alpha in the wall. So, I mean,
It'd be interesting.
Brennan's got to hope that KD does not get back to him, because there might be a bump in the future. It looks like Brennan is gapping, so I think he thought, I have the position, and I've waited enough laps, I'm just gonna move. And that's what he did. He's pulled a little bit of a gap on KD. It's not big, but obviously, in a place like Darlington, you don't really gain tenths a lap. It's more like hundredths. Especially over people these good. You don't just start gaining. Brendan is doing a good job once he got by the 18 to make sure to not let the gap close in. Oh, KD! Oh my god. Oh, Tiger in the inside wall! Back up into the track. Get it back going straight.
Gotta hope this.
And he's the only car involved, so that will not be a caution. That all started. KD looked like got into the wall or got loose or something. It grabbed Alpha, it looked like, and I don't know how Tiger really spun and all that. I don't know if he was trying to avoid and that happened, or what exactly happened there, but it was kind of a weird situation. Meanwhile, at the front, Brody's lead, it may have shrunken a little bit to Big Jim. I don't think it's a lot, but Big Jim definitely showing that the fresher tires mean something even this late to a run. B-Car's doing a good job as well, kind of following Big Jim up through there. And LT, oh, Brody's really loose off of 2. I think he may have hit the glitch. And LT, oh, speaking of hitting the glitch, B-Car's hitting the inside wall with the glitch. Oh my gosh. Well, now you're about, you're still too far away though from the window to pit here and make it to the end. I was about to say maybe some of these drivers would think about short pit, but they're still a decent ways from their window. This is coming around, I think, to 37 until we get to 35 until we get to halfway. I think you'd want to pit with about 30 to go if you're going to be short pitting. So we still have a few laps to go. Obviously, yellow's going to come out lap 92, so I'd expect people to start pitting about 4 or 5 laps to be undercutting, and then obviously some people want a little bit longer. So, but I think definitely the pit cycle will start in about 4 to 5 laps. Look at LT. We'll see if that car looks loose off 2 this time. That looked good. We're going to judge every little thing you do, LT.
Fine with me.
If only we had a helmet cam. I couldn't imagine a helmet cam in this game. Just be the guy turning left a little bit, straight, left, straight. Ray's done a good job keeping it up over Big Jim. LT now third, obviously, after B-Car's little misfortune off turn 2 with the glitch. Brennan has pulled a nice gap over KD. And Alpha's kind of faded off KD as well. So the battle for 5th is definitely simmered down. Brennan has a nice gap, about a second or so, over KD, who has likewise the same gap to Alpha. So there's really no worries there in that department for that battle. Tiger obviously wrecked. There's KD, you can see him right there. And there's Big Jim racing off into turn 3 and 4. And I think he's still cutting that gap to Brody. So I don't think it's fresher tires at this point. I think it's just faster car. I think Brody may have gotten the fence there off 4. LT looks loose still. Now, here's the question. Everyone got one pit stop out of the way, right? Everyone got one pit entrance out of the way. Do you think people are now going to be more aggressive, or do you think they're still going to be cautious?
They know where to break at now. You'd like
especially if you're KD, you lost so much time last time with how you entered.
That's right.
Because he entered in 3, which is...
I thought you were going to squat a big slide job off.
AJ Allmendinger would be like...
Yeah. Oh, people are pitting. AJ, Arrow.
Alright, you say, oh, Arrow, cheese that one.
Yeah.
He did not make the... Oh, and now he's gone. Oh my gosh, he disconnected. So, BKR's in from 4th, obviously hating the handling of that 11. Wants to make some adjustments for sure. Jocko's on pit road. I don't know if that's scheduled or not. We'll have to get updates because now with pit cycle starting, we don't know who's lagged out, who's not. But now, Eli, you're Big Jim, right? You stayed out the longest of anyone the last run. Do you do that again, or do you now pit with Brody, knowing that maybe you have the faster car than him?
I was kind of undercut him. I get closer to him. You see he's caught him so far.
Do you think the guy in 3rd will maybe try and undercut?
I don't know. You're just asking that.
LT, what are you thinking for pit strategy?
Pitting now.
Alright, LT is pitting this lap, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, took down the wall.
Well,
So
it's a great time to pit. The front 2 are staying out. So LT will have... Brennan's entering from 3 again, so he kind of just... He's not taking any risks here that I'm missing it. He's just cautiously getting in there. And if that were me behind the wheel, I would absolutely be entering through the middle of 3 and 4, trying to get as big of an entrance as I could.
Be in the barrel.
Yeah, but listen, what's exciting about entering from the bottom of 3?
I guess so.
Front 2 are still staying out, so Big Jim not worrying about trying to undercut him right now. He's just... Yeah, I think he just sees the car getting bigger in front of him. He just wants to go get it.
Oh.
LT, you good? Was your pit stop bad or something?
Mm-hmm.
Could you give us some info? 16.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Big
mean-
330.
so Big Jim gonna try and overcut him. And obviously LT's chance at an undercut of getting anywhere near closer definitely thwarted by his pit crew. As there he is on the racetrack. I believe he's behind BKR now?
Yes.
Alright, so obviously the driver of the 19 is not happy. And we'll leave him alone now until the midway break. Because he's probably going to go curse out his pit crew. Waiting for Brody to leave. There he goes. So Brody leaves. He'll come out right behind, I think that's Allen. BKR is a long ways back. And now we're just basically waiting on Big Jim, who I think has just pitted. So there he is. Final driver to stop. And what will be the final pit stops under green of the first segment. And it looks like it's going to come down to Brody and Big Jim with how the field's been kind of separated and spread out here as Big Jim leaves as one of the last pit stalls, and there's Brody to his outside, so I don't think Big Jim lost too much. BKR gained a lot, though. He was obviously one of the first people to pit, but even with that, he must have had a really good pit entry, really good pit stop on top of all that, because you don't just gain that much time off of undercutting by a few laps. And obviously the 19 has slow pit stops, so that also compounds the issues. So, Eli, we have a lot of people on pit road. KD is one of them. And that's big for the Tough Track Challenge Championship. This is the final one. With BKR still out there running strong, BKR is probably going to win that. Jocko is also on pit road, I think. And Arrow. Yeah, so Jocko, Arrow, Tango, and KD are all on pit road. That's 4 of the 14 cars.
Yes. They sped or something. What did they have?
That is interesting, though, because it's such a long race.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they said, screw it, I don't want to stay around if I'm going to be a lap down. But, I mean, you have the midway yellow. And then after that, who knows what could happen with yellows on restarts at Darlington. So, I mean, it was just kind of interesting there. Obviously, we saw Arrow miss pit road. He maybe sped doing that as well. I don't know what happened to KD or Jocko. Obviously, Tango lagged out. We know that because I don't think he even made a lap. So.
Yeah, I think Tango made it to the green.
Yeah. We never looked at Tango's throwback. It has green on it. I can't really get a good angle on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to tell because of the cameras. Maybe if I just keep refreshing, it'll give me a bit. No, it's just giving me the same 2 angles. They have nothing from the front or side. It's just all from the back. All right, back to the race. Still Brody leading. Still Big Jim in second. Still BKR in third and LT in fourth. Those 4 have really gotten away. LT has 4.5 seconds back to Brennan in fifth. So those front 4 are gone. Brennan has 2 seconds up on Alpha, who has about 4.5 up on Tiger. So at the moment, I mean, the closest battle for position is, I think, BKR and LT. That would be for third place. This is one of those tracks where it's just kind of a driver's racetrack, so whoever has it, they're really, really going to do well. So we can look at Brody. Big Jim is close enough to make him worried, though. Right here, it's about 16, 17 to go, so Brody can't rest easy, that's for sure. But he also can't push too hard because one wall hit would put Big Jim within a second. And then with how much faster Big Jim has been, not just on tires, but just, I think, with his car, it could be interesting. But Brody's done a really good job, especially with the, whenever they were all wrecking in front of him, and he got high and just stayed in the gas and got around and ended up getting the lead. That was really what kept him it, because at that moment he was maybe struggling to stay ahead of Big Jim as well. So if Big Jim got around him, then it would possibly be Big Jim leading by a few seconds. But instead now it's Brody leading by, I would say, about 2.5, 3 seconds. As we are nearing the final 10 laps of this first half, Eli. And we always got to mention our sponsors, Double G Construction and Roofing, and Richmar Florist. As at the moment, the floors of these cars might have to be remodeled with how bumpy this track is. I wonder if our roofing company does flooring. If not, maybe we could just get some flowers and line the bottom of the car with flowers. LT, did you need a new roof after the storms last week?
I did. The entire thing ripped off.
did you call Double G Construction and Roofing?
I did, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good to see. And did you buy them some flowers for their time?
Oh, I
From
did.
Richmar Florist? Yeah.
They love them. Yeah.
Local company, easy to drive down.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the damage in Allentown was maybe worse than where you were, so... Richmar Florist maybe got it worse than you did. Maybe they needed roofing as well. Maybe they called Double G Construction and Roofing. Speaking of construction, maybe Double G Construction and Roofing can remodel Atlanta for us. We paid Atlanta. They probably do better than us tonight. Oh, Brody's in the wall. Oh, Eli, the mistake we mentioned just happened.
Yeah.
He had just left Allen.
Hopefully it was in 4, not 2.
Yeah.
He was off 2. That didn't move.
Do you think him passing the 88 the corner before maybe kind of got him out of his groove and he just kind of misjudged it there? Oh my gosh, LT is taking a dive down to the inside. Saw that one in the background. Thankfully the camera stayed there just long enough so I could point it out. Otherwise we would have never known that happened. Brody's about to put Penn's a second lap down. Good thing for Penn's though, he's gonna sweat this out and he's gonna finish inside the top 10 with all the cars that are on pit road. So, while it's not the most glamorous of days going 2 laps down the first half of the race, it's still gonna be a good points day, and who knows what could happen in the final half of this race to maybe try and get him back on the lead lap. Right now, I think Allen's the only car 1 lap down. So that was a very risky place to do that, but he somehow made it work. I think at the moment Allen's the only car 1 lap down. So Allen, as long as he just stays with Brody, he should be the free pass. Penn's meanwhile is 2 laps down. Maybe if he stays close enough to Brody would maybe let him get 1 back, come to the caution. But with how fast Big Jim is catching, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to take that risk.
Especially since we're in the final 10 laps of this this first half. I don't think, especially with them side by side now. That is. Ooh, now Brody's getting loose off of the glitch.
That's good by them or not.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And they stayed like door to. Well, now Penn's is in the wall, but I mean they're still door to door.
Yeah.
Oh, Brody almost got the wall and had to turn it really hard. Allen finally will clear Penn's right there. So that was a long fight for 2 guys that weren't even fighting for a position. I don't think. Oh, Big Jim, a big dart to the inside after the 8 got the wall in front of him. And Penn's lifts. Oh my gosh. I thought he was going to lift to let him go, not lift to race him again. But Big Jim powers off the top to easily clear the 8 again. Big Jim just wants to add 1 more leader at halfway mark to his stats. Run by LT this season. Turn 2 is one of the most fun corners whenever the glitch doesn't get you. Just having that car hard in the gas, come off the corner, going basically uphill, it feels like. It's like a little bump down up. It's a fun corner if you get it right and if nothing of the game happens. So, we are approaching the midway yellow in this race. Brody leads Big Jim by a good margin. I think as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, it's a good enough margin to be able to hold the lead to midway. Meanwhile, BKR is in 3rd and, if I had to guess, in control of the Tough Track Challenge Championship. LT is, I think, hanging on to 4th and trying to hang on to his car at the same time. Big Jim moves around Allen, who let him go. So now Big Jim has no cars in between he and Brody, but the gap is just too big unless a mistake is made for Big Jim to make that up in about 4 laps or so. Now, has Brody raced this season, Eli? I don't recall him having been in a race, so... I mean, if he has, he's only raced 1 or 2. So, props to him for kind of coming in here and Yeah, just showing Big Jim up, and Big Jim's won the most races this season. That was very risky, the way he just did their off turn too. Um, got like on the apron there. I could have easily spun him around. Don't get on the apron in 3 and 4 though. They're doing a good job staying far enough away from that. Now LT has a 5-second gap over Brennan, who has a 4-second gap over Alpha. So the field is spreading out, and I'm sure a lot of these drivers are just praying that that yellow comes out. Man, they are running the apron back there. LT, what's happening over there?
Glitch. Over and over again.
Okay. So Brody is coming around. He just completed the 90th lap. He's going to complete the 91st lap. So what we've seen in the past is that the yellow comes out 1 lap before halfway so they can pit at halfway. So the yellow should be this time if it's the same. So I have to see when Brody crossed the line here, is this the halfway yellow? With how he's running, I assume it is. So there is the first caution of this race. We've gone 91 laps caution free. The drivers get a break now with Brody out in front. Obviously no points award for this stuff. Allen will get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap, but Brody and Big Jim, definitely the class of the field. BKR looked pretty fast. LT looked fast when he wasn't loose. So we'll have to see if maybe he can make some adjustments to his car to help that feeling. Let's see what Brennan can do now, what Alpha can do now. They were looking pretty sporty at points. And here they come onto pit road. Big Jim almost making someone else speed. Now we'll see if someone pit crew can maybe rise to the occasion. With how close Big Jim got to Brody, he had like a better entry. I think he was faster, and that'll help him all the way down pit road. Even though it doesn't look like it does help the faster you go on pit entry. Let's see what the pit stops are for all these drivers, and if LT's crew can maybe shake off what they just had last stop. Let's see, what's the time?
15.5.
That's a lot better. That's a full second, LT.
It is. They got their stuff together.
Did you yell at them and...
I did. I screamed on the radio, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Well, Brendan had a 15.8 behind you, so I'm sure you'll be pleased hearing that. There goes Big Jim leaving. Brody beats him off. BKR out right behind Big Jim. So obviously Big Jim's stop was not good at all. If he lost that much ground to Brody, and if BKR was right on him, obviously Big Jim's was maybe a 16.5. But Eli, Elite Racer Series, choose cone. What do you choose at Darlington?
Inside.
Okay, there you go. What do you think Big Jim will do here, right? So he's going to be... He could be front row. Does he follow Brody, or does he take the top?
We've seen Big Jim take the top a lot of places.
That's true. This is Big Jim I'm talking about, so...
Yeah.
I presume he will take the lane that Brody does not go in, which I presume will be the top. I don't know if I would want to be restarting on the top if I were the leader. Under this caution period, gotta once again thank our sponsors. As everyone but LT and Brennan choose the bottom. This is gonna be interesting. So LT moves from 4th to 2nd. Brennan, well, it doesn't look as cool. He still moves from 5th to 4th. It could have been, though, 7th if he chose the inside. So the gain was very big for Brendan right there. But once again, gotta thank our sponsors: Double G Construction and Roofing, Richmar Florist. All these drivers looking for some bouquet of flowers after this one. Bought by LT because he's close to Richmar Florist.
They bought the leaf.
Yeah, like Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Wonder if they sell one of those. I'll have to look into that. But here we come. We're approaching the Geico Restart Zone, or as we could call it, the Richmar Florist Restart Zone. We'll see what LT and them can do on the top. Brody gets a really good jump to get away, and Big Jim's choice that he made definitely going to pay off, it looks like. He'll get up to second. Now what's going to happen is BKR takes it to the apron. LT's going to try and power around that. Brennan's in the wall. And that did not work out for Brennan at all. He may have wanted to restart 7th in that one. Because that did not work out at all. LT still maintains in 3rd, so that was definitely a net gain for him. He came into that 4th. Would have been, I think, restarting 7th if he chose the bottom. So it worked out well for LT. You know, now he's 3rd place right behind Big Jim and Brody. Now we'll see what Big Jim can do now that he's close to Brody. He was faster the last 2 runs. What can he do this run is some of these drivers are getting close to the wall on turn 2 exit. LT one of them, but got a nice run off of 2, just staying in the gas and using up all the racetrack. And Alpha's up to 5th, Eli. And Allen, he just took the lucky dog. He's 6th place.
Take the right line.
That's very true. Brendan trying to claw his way back. He's back up to 7th. But once again, restarted 4th. He was down to 8th, Eli. So he lost 4 spots on that restart. That was not good for Brendan at all. And obviously, if we have a caution and restart later, he might rethink the top choice for sure, because it did not work out well. It worked out well for the driver in the front row on the top, but behind that, it was just a huge stack up of, you know, getting walled 3 wide and whatnot. So it just did not work for anyone behind the front row there. And LT, I don't know if he's holding up BKR or they're just kind of equal, but Alpha is joining this fight. Might make it 3 cars for 3rd, so Alpha looking sporty in this second half so far. Yeah, for sure. The race to turns 1 and 2. It's very crucial to try and get in there as hard as you can, lift as little as you can, but also make sure you don't hit that wall. That is a very technical corner, as is 3 and 4 up here. It's a very tight corner. So, this track, man, is a driver's racetrack to heart. See, Brennan moved to 6th. He got back by Allen, so Brennan's slowly clawing his way back to where he was before this yellow flag came out. I think he was 5th. So, trying to claw his way back up there, which is right now held by Alpha, but it's right now 5 cars. Brody's doing a good job. I think he's actually starting to extend it a little bit over Big Jim, but the question is, in the longer run, it looked like Big Jim was coming in, so we'll see if the 3 car can maybe do it then. As we're coming around this time, he had to complete 100 laps. It's been a really long one. I just think, aren't normal Xfinity races here about 200 laps or so?
Yeah.
And these guys are around 184, so... Brody's flirting with that wall. He got really high there. I thought he was going to get it, but he is... I mean, even though he's out in front, he's still pushing it 100%, obviously, with how high he's got there. Big Jim obviously gained because of it. He brought LT and BKR with him. What Brody can do versus Big Jim. It obviously looked like those two are the best cars the last 2 runs, without a doubt. They had gapped the field by seconds. The question is, what can Big Jim do versus Brody now that he's within a second of him? And if he can stay within that second for the long run, because last few long runs he was 4 or 5 seconds back.
I'll see long run. Brody would hit the wall.
Yeah.
You can't really afford that now.
No, now if he hits the wall, he might be 4th place by the time he gets out of it. So, obviously we know he likes using up all the racetrack and trying to get back into the gas as quickly as possible, but if he makes that mistake, it could cost him 3 spots. And it's costing him time to Big Jim. Big Jim is right there now in that 3, so obviously this is the point of the run where that 3 starts to come alive. About 10 laps it takes for that 3 to come in, but once it comes in, it is flat flying around this 1.3 mile racetrack. And Alpha's starting to lose touch with the front 4, so OLT just smacked the wall, and BKR couldn't really take advantage. I don't really think LT lost that much speed doing it. That was the issue for BKR. LT hit, well, on my screen it was a pound. He smacked the wall pretty hard, but it was still going full speed down the backstretch, so. Yeah, Alpha's losing touch with the front four now. He might fall back into Brennan as Brody again goes wide, but just keeps it in the gas and able to power out of turn 2. But Big Jim didn't really let Brody pull away, even though Brody looked like got back into the gas sooner. It didn't gain him any time. And look at Big Jim in a 3.
Close so much.
Yeah, you can see right there, Brody does gain about half a car length or so, but I mean, the amount Big Jim gains on entry is so much more than what Brody gains back on the straightaway. You see this time off 2. I think Big Jim didn't. Oh, as Brody gets loose! Big Jim can have a peek at him right here into 3 and 4. He's just going to go high now.
Oh, he's in the wall.
No, just a slight touch to the wall, but able to keep second, and it is 4 cars stacked together for the lead at Darlington. It's Brody leading the train around. Right now, 2 Chevys, 2 Toyotas. Oh, there we go! I don't know how everyone saved that.
I don't know how there's not 3 jump cars.
Yeah, that should have been a yellow. That was a yellow. It just didn't happen. Oh my goodness. To a colorblind person, it is a yellow because the green flag is still waving. I just don't know how no one wrecked there. Brody nailed the wall and LT ran into him, and then he got into BKR and they faced the inside wall. I don't understand how everyone got that alive, but props to everyone that was involved in that. Now Big Jim obviously out in front. What can he do now? Because he had the fastest car the last 2 runs. And LT looks tight now.
Yep.
BKR looking for a pass into turn 1. Goes to the apron.
My God.
In real life, that maybe would have worked. In Heat 5, that was just asking to get spun around. And he loses the spot to Brody off of all that. But now, Eli, this run being about 90 laps long, you think they're just going to split it all 30? Do you think Big Jim's going to do what he's been doing and try and go just 36, 36, and then whatever the last one would be about 18 or so?
Brody has to lead back.
Exactly. And I mean, if they stay close enough, then the undercut could definitely work out a lot better than what it has been. I mean, they're 15 laps away from when some of them could be pitting. So that'd be 15 laps until 60 to go. 14 at the line. So the undercut window will be opening soon to try and make it. Obviously, it's 2 stops for everyone, but those 2 stops could be broken up into a lot of different ways. It could be split even 30 or so. You'd be like Big Jim, you can go 36, 36, and then about 18 or so. Because it's like Big Jim's kind of just run out the full 36 laps of fuel the whole time. And he is putting that car right on the dotted white line. The only other car that I'm seeing doing that right now is BKR in 4th. Big Jim is really making it work, while LT and Brody they can't really hold it down there. They have to slide up to keep the pace going. Even with how hard Big Jim drives into the corner, it still keeps it around the bottom. Very impressive. Well, that time LT heard me talking, he decided to show off and he put it around the bottom. He just said, anything you can do, I can do better. He actually gained that time. BKR a peak for 3rd, so Brody's car is definitely just fallen off here. And obviously LT's made some good adjustments, if any. I assume he does. He has, because he hasn't looked as loose. You know, it's like just Brody's car is just not reacting right currently. Obviously not what he wanted out of this run. He was hoping he could keep that track position. Now he's going to have to try and get it back through pit strategy. Has LT just started to lag? Or is that everyone lagging? Well, everything's good now. For a moment, it looked like both the 19 and the 53 were lagging, which got me a little scared about the servers.
Yeah, I've just been told I was lagging, but now it's better.
Yes, you are good now. Yeah, we haven't had an event where the servers ever died. But, in this league, I just jinxed it, but in the event that were to happen, we are past halfway, so the race would be official. As these drivers could be within 10 laps of coming down pit road, Eli, especially if you want to try and undercut Big Jim by about 5-6 laps.
I would be expecting Brody to first.
Absolutely, I think Brody for sure should be pitting at the moment where it's basically an equal split. Maybe even before that, try and make one of the runs even longer to just try and get as much of a gap as you can over Big Jim. Because at the moment that 3 is so fast, you have to try and keep him behind you because it's a hard track to pass at. So if you can get in front of him, you can try and hold him off. Speaking of holding it off, Alpha's holding off Brennan, which has allowed Tiger into the battle. That is an amazing 3-car battle for 5th place. As Brennan looks for a peak on Alpha entering 1. Tiger just wait for these two in front of him. Oh, Brennan just smacked the wall and Tiger to the inside. Now Tiger's gonna have the shot at Alpha. Brennan just too hard to the gas through 1 and 2 and couldn't make it work. He may have bombed out over that bump. Very easy to do. I've done it too many times to count. And we're just gonna have to see when these leaders want to come down pit road. Obviously, with how much fuel you get, 36 laps, the fuel window had opened to make it on 2 stops with about 72 to go. So anyone who pits now can still make it on just 1 more stop after their stop. But the problem would be the tires and how old they would be. And see right now, LT may be fading a little bit as Brody has gotten to his bumper now. Big Jim started to gap a little bit. The gap had been just about 2 car lengths or so the past few laps. Then once we stopped focusing on LT, he started doing worse. That's normally the opposite. We stopped focusing on Alpha, he just almost spun off turn 2. So, I mean, maybe start focusing on people, we'll start doing better or something. I don't know. With LT's a little wide off of 4. Brody looking to his inside, but doesn't have the legs to make it work. Oh, Brody. I don't know if he entered aggressively and got into the back of LT or what, but it shot up the racetrack. I thought it was going into the wall. As these drivers are coming around to 64 to go. So we're nearing the point of splitting this stage into thirds. Question is, who's the first of the front runners to do as LT is loose off of 4. I think he's getting up close to the wall, had that car turn hard left to make sure it didn't hit the wall. And he's going to let Brody by. Might let BKR by as well. BKR into the wall though and almost down to LT. It's a very, very risky moment there for those 2 drivers. However, if both of them wrecked, it would have been a yellow, so... Oh, well, speaking of both of them wrecking, Tiger and Alpha just had a moment back there. Oh my goodness. Alpha either got loose or hit the wall or something. He came straight down to Tiger and it about wrecked both of them. I'm surprised it did not. Once again, another moment of these drivers just being really, really good at holding on to these cars when they are basically wrecked. Now, I think we're approaching the time, Eli, where you're going to have to pit because Big Jim is getting out there to a nice gap. And I think this is going to be 62 to go right here. So we're basically at the point now where next lap, I think, would basically be a nice little split. So if I'm Brody, I'm jumping into pit road now. If I'm BKR, I'm jumping into pit road. Just to try and get those tires and see what can happen. We know Big Jim really likes to just extend this fuel run out all the way. As BKR might be pitting now. Looked like he had the signal to pit. That or he just got loose. Now he just got loose, so they're going to stay out another lap. And I think Brennan got loose, it looks like. I think he's still out there, so... All these drivers right now are just... They're waiting it out just a little bit. Absolutely. I mean, BKR lost a lot of time, so if I'm him, I'm definitely pitting now. Everyone's being kind about this, Eli.
Oh.
That's why I'm confused, Eli. Unless their plan is to maybe make this as long as they can, and then split the final run up But in my personal opinion, I would honestly rather have the two runs split up over a few laps. Especially if you're a Brody. Maybe if you're a BKR, you try the strategy of splitting up this second and third run into even marks and making this run as long as possible because now he's fallen off so much. But if you're Brody, I'd definitely be pitting way sooner than Big Jim because you're close enough to try and make it work. Even LT. So, I mean, it is... I mean, they're down to a window now where they're going to have to pit within the next 3-4 laps for fuel. So... But it just looks like all these front runners are going to be stretching this out as long as they can, Eli. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out, see if it works. Can't follow the leader.
Like say Allen didn't follow the leader. He's coming off pit road, but he wasn't up at the front. So, I mean,
yeah.
I do like the strategy call, but I would have liked it if it was someone up at the front doing it. Where'd BKR disappear to?
Well. Oh, well, then.
Well, here they
Got
come.
our answer.
Yep. Big Jim will stay out for another lap or two, but second and third come down, so that's maybe going to be a lap or two worth of tires. So now we'll see if Brendan pits this lap, or is it going to be the next lap? That is the question. How's his fuel looking? How are his tires looking? Looks like he's going to be pitting. So they get 1 lap fresher tires, which is why I really would want to pit sooner. Only 1 lap's not going to do it, in my opinion. Oh my gosh, Tiger.
Missing. Oh my Christ. He was sliding that thing.
He was sliding in 3.
In real life, he would have been screwed.
In real life, there's no way he was. In real life, he would have been wrecked. So.
Yeah.
You can see the front runners leading. Pit road up ahead as Big Jim comes in.
Oh no, the 8. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stuff happening.
Yeah, the 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see now. They're still side by side. Oh my gosh.
Stuff is happening.
Pens is racing him hard.
I wouldn't be too happy with that.
No, I wouldn't either, but there's Big Jim. Getting up to speed in the middle of 1 and 2, and
a little bit, Monica.
I think Brody
Okay.
barely ahead, but
If
I
that
mean,
stuff wasn't happening off. Oh,
yeah, exactly. That stuff
right.
wasn't happening off pit road that you mentioned. I didn't see it, but it sounds like it probably cost him a few tenths or maybe even a second. So
I don't know what happened to BKR, by the way.
yeah, he just disappeared. I don't know where he went.
Oh.
He's just. Is he?
If he lagged out.
So, alright, hold on. Let's try and get to the bottom of this. Alright, yeah, so Tiger's now 4th, Alpha's 5th, Brennan's 6th. So, I guess BKR must have lagged out, which might give the... Who's 3rd in the Tough Track Challenge now? Who can...
Oh, well, God.
I don't know. Well... Oh my gosh, Penn's almost spun. I don't know. Big Jim's probably getting the Tough Track Challenge thing, if I had to guess. Oh, they're in the wall for the lead.
I guess I won't be right back. Okay, man.
Well, Big Jim's gonna take it there, so.
Okay, I'll be back.
Oh no, Brody's in the wall again. I'll say you have a shot at 2nd here.
Nope.
Do you think that maybe you could have risked the strategy a little bit more to try and...
Maybe, but...
Oh, Penn's just wrecked behind you.
Oh.
He's in the middle of the track. I don't know if anyone else got involved. I'd say no because Tiger got through, Alpha got through, Brennan got through. That could have been a yellow if he stayed on the track a second longer. So that would have changed a lot. That would have changed the whole race, actually. But now, LT, with Big Jim out there leading, he may pull away. Do you think you can try and stay close enough to try and undercut him for this final run?
I could try, but these front two are faster than me, so they probably would catch me anyways, but I might try something here, so we'll see.
Oh boy. I do like a good aggressive pit call to win races. I know you do too, Charlotte. In another league comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. A great league. Fantastic.
Don't say lies on air, LT. Alpha passes Tiger for 4th, so I mean Alpha's run to the front. Oh well, Tiger's trying to pass him back into turn 1, so he let Alpha go into 3 and then tried to pass him back into 1. Now he's on the apron, Tiger is, and Alpha's gonna clear for 4th. Brendan now trying to get to 5th around the outside turn 2, which he barely keeps out of the wall. So very close moment for Brennan and Tiger there, but they're still door-to-door into 3. Some contacts made with the wall and each other. Brennan down the wall hard, and Tiger keeps 5th. That is a race for 5th. That could, if things go wrong, cause a yellow flag. Maybe a fun flag. My goodness. Tiger's gotten away for now, but oh, he's in the wall again though, because Brendan's gaining back now. Oh boy. Penn's almost lost it off of 2 again. Saw that in the background of this three-way battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'll go back up to the front. Still Big Jim leading this race. It looks like it's a comfortable origin over 2nd. LT, did you hit the wall off 2 there?
No, we just drifted and tapped
it. It looked very close. Now we'll see if Brody, I mean, I know he has 1 lap worse tires. Can he try and close down Big Jim? Even though Big Jim has had the better long run car all race long, can Brody try and do something or just stay close enough to make something happen at the end of this race? Obviously, you know, once we get to 36 to go, that's when the pit window opens to make it from there to the end on fuel. Someone could try something aggressive if they really wanted to in that regard. I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, with Big Jim pushing as long as he went about 36 laps, he's probably going to push it the other 36 laps, which would take him a good ways down, probably to under 20 to go. So, I mean, if Big Jim pushes it out long, and if Brody undercuts him by 6 laps even, that would be enough. So we'll just have to see what Brody wants to do on this pit stop. Does he stay out as long as he did this segment? Did he maybe stay out longer in this first segment of the second half to try and maybe make these last 2 a little bit shorter? We're going to find out here as we're approaching the window for the second stop of this second half to be open. It's not a, I'll tell you, this isn't a normal race. You had to make 4 green flag pit stops in this one.
Yeah.
5 pit stops overall, so I mean that's just not normal for a Heat 5 race. Normally it's, you know, 1 per half, and you get 3 stops in the race. But here at Darlington, they do things crazily. Obviously, the track eats tires, and it's a long race, so have to pit twice at each half, and it does create some of this interesting strategy that you don't normally see with just 1 stop and a half. See 1 stop and a half, it's harder to make these kind of strategy moves. If you pit twice and a half, you can easily make those moves work. Brody gained a little on Big Jim that last lap and closed up on him. That gap is no longer as big as it was for Big Jim, so I don't know if there was a mistake somewhere or if Brody just found a groove that he really liked, but I would say maybe Big Jim made a mistake at some point in the run, because he did open it up that last lap again, so. But it did allow Brody to close in just enough to where now Big Jim's got to be nervous as Pence is on pit road. I don't know if he can actually make it from there to the end on fuel, so he'll have to pit one more time. So Penn's making even more pit stops out of this race than what already is. The battle for 4th is still going on, by the way. I didn't want to cut away from the lead because at any moment this track could come out and bite you. But Brennan is still behind Tiger, who is on the bumper of Alpha. That is 4th and 5th, and then Brennan in 6th. Alpha obviously not wanting to give up 4th. Tiger wants that 4th place badly. The front 3 are gone, so it's just these 3. They're about straight away back of LT in 3rd. who is a good ways back of the front two. So that just shows you the gap back to that battle for 4th place. LT, as long as you don't have some huge catastrophic mistake, looks like you're finishing inside the top 3 here tonight. So
Hopefully.
try not to speed or spin.
Don't jinx it.
Don't get on the apron in
Jinx
3 and
it.
4. White curbs, LT.
White.
Just pretend there's a white curb down on the dotted white line of 3 and 4.
Got it.
So I think Brody, if he didn't get the wall, he got very close off of 4 there, and could have been bad if he did get into the wall, but we are approaching the opening of the fuel window for the final stop. As this time by, the leaders have 39 to go, with Big Jim leading Brody in 2nd, but with 39 to go, that's 3 laps until the fuel window opens. Brody really wide though, 3 and 4, and that cost him so much time to Big Jim. He had to get out of the gas, and it probably cost him tenths there to that number 3 car. That is not what Brody wanted to see right there at all. As they are side by side for 4th. Alpha trying to keep it. Tiger is there, and that battling has Brennan behind them. So, I mean, maybe this could come to the part of the strategy. If these front runners know that there is this big battle going on for 4th, that increases the chances of a yellow coming out. You won't want to be on pit road when the yellow comes out. You go a lap down. So maybe for the front 3, if you're Brody chasing Big Jim, if you're LT chasing them, you'd be a little less on that strategy of trying to short pit, knowing that a yellow could come out if one of these 3 makes a mistake and another one's collected. So all it takes is 2 cars and a yellow comes out. And again, Tiger with the move to the inside of Alpha into 3 and 4. Bottom lane trying to make it work. They are door to door right here. I think Tiger's going to have it on exit of 4. Alpha staying tight with them though. Side drafting them back to him. They're very side by side to turns 1 and 2. Alpha into the fence though. And Tiger will keep 4th place. Alpha back to 5th. Brennan 6th. Tiger loose and Alpha to the outside. This is remarkable stuff for 4th place. We had Penn spin in front of 4th, 5th, and 6th. They got out of the way just fast enough. Brody had gained to where he was within about 3-4 car lengths of Big Jim. Big Jim has since opened that back up a little bit. Now we're, Eli, basically approaching to where the fuel window's open. The leaders are crossing 35 to go this time by. So from here, if they pit, they can make it on fuel. The problem is, with this 3-way battle for 4th going on, they might be a little weary about pitting.
They're going at it back here.
This is, I mean, it's been amazing stuff. They've been, Alpha and Tiger have been side by side for maybe 3-4 laps straight now. As that was close, Alpha will clear, Brennan will clear, so now Alpha to 4th, Brennan to 5th, and the battle dies down a little bit, but we'll see if Brennan maybe makes the battle come back alive, as he's now trying to get by Alpha in the 4th position. I want to just quickly go up there and check how Brody and Big Jim are doing. It's still about the same gap, so Brody's done a really good job on this long run, not losing much to Big Jim. And if he undercuts him by enough, he could definitely be the leader, and then we'll see if he can try and hold on. So we'll have to see if Brody wants to undercut Big Jim by more than just a lap. Remember, he only did a lap last time he got in the lead, so this battle for 4th is not going away, Eli.
No, they're all over each other.
Oh my gosh! Alpha.
I'm not saying there will be a caution, but
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you're 2nd and 3rd place, you want to undercut Big Jim, but if you do it too soon and the yellow comes out,
yeah,
you're trapped a lap down, and that's just not good at a track like Darlington, where track position means so much. So, oh, Alpha onto the apron in the middle of 1 and 2, corrals the car, luckily to where it doesn't come up into Brennan and Tiger. But now Brennan's up to 4th, Tiger is 5th, and now Alpha down to 6th. That was a close call for Alpha right there. That could have been major. Back up front, Brody has gained on Big Jim, Eli, and I mean, it is just a few car lengths now.
I don't know. I don't know if Big Jim hit the wall. I had a mistake off on the corner, but or Brody just had a good lap, but he's up on me.
I've had times though where in the race, if you are the leader, the car handles differently than if you're 2nd. It almost feels worse if you're the leader. Which doesn't, it's backwards, but the car feels looser which I mean, it should, being out in front, it should feel looser, but it is so much looser that the car just feels it doesn't feel like the same car. I mean, maybe Big Jim's seeing that. Maybe that's what's happening, right? Maybe Big Jim has a car that's looser because he's been out front this whole run.
Oh, it's hurting him, whatever the issue is.
I mean, in X1 at Phoenix, it was me, Alpha, and Tiger, right? And Alpha was leading, Tiger was second. I went there and I flew by Tiger. I went there and flew by Alpha, and I was like, I have a shot to win this thing. I'm so fast. Came down pit road, did my service, came out in front of Alpha. Car was loose as all heck after I left pit road. And Alpha's was completely fine after Alpha had said he was loose the thing prior and he didn't make an adjustment. So, something about being behind someone, it doesn't matter if it's a caution or not, just if you come off behind someone, that thing just feels completely different. It feels better, honestly, than when you're out in front.
This game is weird.
I mean, look at Brody. He's aggressive. He's doing what Big Jim's been doing with these courses, and he runs higher. He's like dominating the corner at Darlington.
Oh, Big Jim got loose.
And look, he's going to give him the top. Oh, he's got a pit!
Wow.
So Big Jim just reversed it on everyone. He said, I've gone long every single run, but now I'm going to short pit.
Good Brody, you got pit now.
Yeah, now if you're Brody, you definitely have to pit. And I mean, what do you do if you're LT? Maybe just run this out now, and hopefully yellow comes out and you trap everyone a lap down.
Hey, anything can happen.
Because at this point, LT's car looks like it is falling off a cliff. And it is a large cliff. I don't see him at all on the TV anymore. Brody is pitting. And now it's the question of who had the best, yeah, exactly, who had the best pit entrance between those front two. And I mean, if you're LT, there is still hope. I mean, they're still battling for that position between Tiger, Alpha, and Brennan. Tiger got back around them somehow. And now Alpha's around Brennan. So obviously Brennan made a mistake when he got on front of the pack. So now, I mean, if Tiger hits the glitch off too, if Tiger hits the wall off too, gets an Alpha and they both wreck, the yellow comes out. Alright, let's see where... Alright, Brody into his pit stall. I'm going to try and see if I can see Big Jim in 3 and 4 from this angle. Brody's leaving. I haven't seen cars come through, so obviously you can't see. Brody is left pit road, up to speed on the apron. I think he might have it. Oh, it's going to be tight. I think Big Jim might have it by the same amount Brody had. Yeah, so Big Jim will get back around. However, I mean, the gap didn't really increase for him. And now with how loose it was that last run, was it just the game being weird, or did Big Jim make an adjustment?
Only Big Jim just that worked out pretty well for him.
Exactly, so I would have to assume it's the game. Meanwhile, this battle, I mean, this isn't the battle for the lead. LT's coming down pit road. The battle for the lead is Alpha, Tiger, and Brennan. I mean, so right now the leader is Alpha. He's getting some laps led, just like LT did. They have to pit within the next 3 or so laps. Alpha's in the fence. Tiger gets around. Brennan gets around. And now Tiger's loose. Brennan almost into the back of him. Is Tiger pitting this time? Or is Brennan just looking to go around the outside? I think he's just looking to go around the outside. But definitely if you are Big Jim or Brody, you are saying no caution, no caution, no caution. Dear God, keep it straight. Because imagine if yellow comes out and then Tiger, Brennan, and Alpha's like around a 1, 2, 3.
Oh, good. How we've seen him race so far tonight.
Brennan very loose off of the exit of 2.
I don't know. He just went pit, yeah.
Yeah, he's had enough. So now that helps with the case of a yellow coming out. Because now it helps with the case if you are the front 2. Is he now? Oh yeah, look at that. I mean, he is. Now, these guys could probably see the leaders battling in front as well because they were about a straightaway back. So
yeah,
I just have to wonder with that dirty air, it makes that car turn better. Counterintuitive of how it works, but
yeah.
I mean, it's just how it works in this game. So you have to wonder if maybe that's what's happening for Brody right now. If that car is turning better because of the dirty arm. Big Jim, these last 2 runs were the first time he was really out in front this whole race. That car maybe got loose on him, and did he adjust for it? Did he just try and pit early to try and get a gap? I don't know, but we'll have to see how it all plays out. Who knows? These front two could crash each other. There you can see, I think that was Alpha pitting in front of them. Yeah, Alpha will be pitting. So now, I think that should be everyone has pitted, which means next lap around, we'll cycle around to Big Jim being the leader, Brody in second, LT in third. But the battle for the lead is definitely not over. We've seen all night Big Jim's had the better long run car, but the last run Brody definitely had the better long run car. In this run he is dogging Big Jim step for step.
Maybe he loosened it up.
I never know. We'll have to see. So they've cycled back around to 1-2. This is the battle for the lead. They have, I would say, about half a straightaway back to LT. And then I don't... that battle was yeah.
Oh, Brody in the wall.
That's... I was about to say it was fine, but it kind of hurt his exit speed. But the gap they have back to fourth is, I would say, half a lap. Maybe even more. I'd say more than half a lap.
Oh, Big Jim in the wall.
Yeah, that's... Brody has a nice run here down the back. It's obviously not... You can't really go anywhere into 3, but it gets Brody right back up behind Big Jim, which is what he needed to have happen. After one mistake that Brody made, Big Jim made one, which just kind of equaled it out. Oh, and Big Jim again got up towards the wall.
Maybe he caught in the carport, but no.
You have to wonder if maybe he did that and... Oh man, look, he's going to run lower there. Brody run higher, trying to get them lower later. Oh my gosh.
He's fighting with that wall too much. I don't like that.
Yeah, well, it's Big Jim though, so...
Yeah.
If there's someone who could do it, it would be Big Jim. This time by, though, the leaders have... Well, too bad. I think it's 17 to go at the line right here for Big Jim. So they still have quite a ways to go, Eli.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
And who knows, if Big Jim holds off Brody and it stays like this for the whole last run to the white flag, what could happen in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4?
Yeah. If you're going to do anything, you got to do it in 3 and 4.
Oh, look at Brody, he tried right there, got tight though, and nearly hit the wall. Fortunately, he did not. Because if he gets in the wall there, it might keep him in the wall for a little bit and he loses tenths. That time he only lost a car length. Big Jim is flirting with that apron now. He's getting like right down the apron on exit 2. That is...
He's using all the track in between that dotted white line and the wall.
Brody is very aggressive entry at 3 now. He is driving it in there deep. 15 to go for the leaders. Now I would hope... We've seen Penn's race leaders hard as a lap car. I'd hope he pulls over this time. I know that's him up ahead that they're catching. I'd assume he will, because he knows it's about for the win at this stage. It's not just the leader, it's the battle for the win.
I don't think Brody throws it off in the corner. It doesn't work as well. As
Big Jim. I don't know if he hit the wall there. If he didn't, it was oh so close. Oh my gosh. I don't know if my heart can take this, Eli. We already had one amazing conclusion earlier today. Actually, we had 2 amazing conclusions earlier. Then my heart can't take this. This is too good of a day for racing. Oh, man. Can Big Jim hold on? If he holds on, this is his 4th win on the season, Eli. That would be big points.
Oh, Big Jim got a little bit higher than he wanted to.
And he would get the Tough Track Challenge Championship. I believe he has it locked up since BKR's out and all the others around him are out. I think Big Jim has the Tough Track Challenge locked up. he should be the winner of that. That's going to be some more points. But even more points would be a win in this one. He has 3 this season. He's looking for his 4th. Brody, I don't think he's even raced. He's raced a race, it looks like. He has 26 points. So, looks like Brody's maybe raced at least 1, maybe 2 races, but he hasn't won yet this season. This could be the race where he gets it done. Try Master Advantage won the most races so far this season. Think about the people who's had to battle today, Eli. He had to battle Big Jim, 3 wins this season. LT, 2 wins. BKR has won 2 as well. So, I mean, he has been battling some top-notch people. Even Tiger, 2 wins this season. So, it's been up around all these people that have won multiple races this season. He hasn't won 1, but as you mentioned, a good run, but he got loose. This time by, though, Eli, 10 laps to go. So it is time to go hard at this stage in the race.
Yeah, he's going to probably get patient. We rode behind him. Boy.
Pens is ahead, but I have to assume that he will pull
you would
low.
Like to hope. You would like to
I'm just going to assume he will.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Jim, he may have fenced it in the middle of 1 and 2 there because you saw Brody get a run. They're both they're driving so hard off of 2. They're both getting loose now and getting tight and. You can see it is just these 2 on a world of their own besides Pens. You gotta know that Big Jim and Brody are both yelling at Pens to just move out of the way on the backstretch. Right here, this is the perfect opportunity for Pens to just pull low on the back. Alright, maybe on the front. Be a perfect opportunity to pull low on the front.
You hope.
Meanwhile, the battle for 4th is going on. However, this battle for the win is definitely takes more precedence. As Brennan is getting beside Tiger, but the leaders are coming to 8 to go. Pens will move out of the way. May have been a little bit dangerous, but he moved out of the way. 8 to go, though, for Big Jim and Brody. Tiger gets to 4th off of Brennan, who's trying to hold on to 5th as Alpha's coming on fresher tires. But meanwhile, come to 7 to go. The leaders are still separated by just 1 car length.
Brody sends it off the tip. Oh, we got those bumpers.
And we know this game, you have to really, really hit them to move them.
Yeah.
If anything, hitting his bumper actually hurts you. Starts grabbing and throws you up the racetrack. Big Jim, oh my gosh. Look at them both!
Oh.
Brody, I think, hit the wall harder than Big Jim did.
He did.
It cost him a car length or 2, but all it takes, though, is 1 mistake out of Big Jim, and we've seen, I mean, Big Jim doesn't make many mistakes, but we've seen a few of them already this race out of him. 6 to go for the leaders. Yeah, he's thrown it in now, and I mean, if he's close enough on the last lap, 3 and 4 will be an interesting place to be.
Yeah. Good.
And Big Jim is a man that is really good under pressure, but look at Brody. The run he got off of 4 right there gained so much. 5 to go, which means no more yellows. So we know that from here on out, these 2 are just going to be going at it, and it's just going to be these 2 unless they wreck each other.
Which,
I mean, it could happen. So LT, yeah, I just get ready.
Oh,
Brody almost got in the apron in 3 and 4. That was a very dangerous move, but he luckily did not get any lower. Ooh. Look at them both. They're both having to wheel the cars off the quarter. 4 to go. This reminds me so much of the Gateway battle we had earlier this season. 2 drivers going hard at it, both of them with cars that were ill handling. This one looking a lot the same. Big Jim's in the wall.
Kind of hit his bumper though. Kind of send it off in here.
Yeah, 3 and 4. It's gonna be hard to make that pass. They might. He might try and cross under though. Oh, he's gonna stay behind him. So now Brody leads with 3 laps to go. A lead change in the final 5 laps, but is that going to be the only lead change? Look at Brody gets wide. Really, like, can he drive away, or is Big Jim? Oh man.
Yeah.
2 to go right here.
Mistakes. We've seen them both make big, so I don't.
Brody backed up the entrance there, got wide.
Tighter.
Big Jim got a really good 3 and 4 right there, stayed right down the dotted white line. 2 to go. This is not over. It could come down to some contact on the last lap.
This track, we've seen last lap, so it came down to a lot of contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be beating and banging to the line.
Maybe.
One spinning, one in the wall, who knows? Here we come. This is the last lap of the Elite Racer Series at Darlington. There you can see one driver getting out of the way down low. Maybe. Nope, still. That's AJ. I'd be getting out of the way.
Oh, Brody almost in the wall.
Big Jim hit it, though. But he got low. Big Jim now hard the wall off, too. And that, I think he's wrecked. No, he saved it, but that's taken away the pedal for Brody as he goes through 3 and 4 as long as AJ does not wreck in front of him. Checkered flag is up. First time winner. Brody gets it done. And an amazing fight at Darlington. That was insane, Eli. LT spins across the line. The battle for 4th, I think Brennan will hold it off of Tiger, who gets 5th. Alpha gets 6th. My goodness, Eli, we had a lot to talk about that last, those last few runs. The battle for 4th, the battle for the lead. I mean, man, that was something. So the finisher results: 9 cars finished. Brody winning it off of Big Jim. LT 3rd, Brennan 4th, Tiger 5th, Alpha, Allen, AJ, and Penz all finished the race. And then the cars out. We had a lot of them. BKR will get 10th. He was out. KD was out. Obviously, we had Jocko out, Arrow out, and Tango never got to start the race. Eli, it's a 184-lap race. He finished 185 laps down. So, I don't know how that's possible.
How's that not?
I don't know. Apparently, he didn't get to do the pace lap, maybe. But, LT, you're already in here since you were in here the whole race. We'll get to ask you a little bit about your race. 3rd place. I know you would have loved to be closer to the leaders when they started battling at the end, but what did you need to catch the front two? Because they were just lights out, and away they went.
Yeah, I don't know what I needed. I mean, they were on rails, and I think BKR was also faster than me. I think I was solidly just a 4th place car. I didn't really have anything. I don't know. I tried to make adjustments. They made it worse, and then I made more adjustments. They made it better, but I still couldn't keep up with them. So, good job to them. I mean, I just couldn't keep up. I wish I could have been there at the end to battle them because they were, I guess, making contact or whatever. But I just didn't have the speed. So,
do you think this is good momentum heading into the chase in 2 weeks? Obviously, coming up, there are some unique tracks in there. Do you think that this is a confidence booster, momentum builder?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I haven't made every race this season, but I think every race I made, I have a top 5. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to going to the playoffs. I'm not going to make next week at Homestead, but I'll be back in 2 weeks for the start of the playoffs, and hopefully we can have a good run there and try to go win a championship. Also, I want to say congrats to Brody. I don't know if I said that, but good drive by him.
Well, good to know you won't be speeding on pit road at Homestead again. Congrats on the 3rd place. Good luck in the chase since you won't be here next week. Thanks. And we'll move on to 2nd. Big Jim. Man, that was quite the last few runs for you. You never were out in front until the last 2 runs, and then when you got out in front, it looked like that car just fell off a cliff. Take us through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Brody had the better car than me that entire time. I think he was just setting up a pass because it's so hard to pass at Darlington. I came in 1 lap earlier because I don't know if you saw it, but I got loose off of turn 2. I went to the bottom a little bit and decided, as I'm going to lose the lead, I might as well go hit pit road as well. So trying to minimize that kind of that damage. And then, I mean, once you have the worst tires, I think that really does play a big factor. I found that out earlier in the race. I was running Brody down from like 3 seconds down to about 1.5. So, I mean, tires just mean so much, Darlington.
Do you think it was maybe something as well, just being out front? Because I've had it happen in the past where I was behind someone for a run and it was tighter, and then I would come in and I would get out in the lead and then it would be looser without any adjustments. Do you think that was just maybe played into it somehow?
Actually, the car felt a lot better out in clean air. Having fresh tires and clean air is preferable, but having just clean air in general, it was nice not having to check up for the guy in front of you. And I think, Brody gave me a lot of breaks where he was faster than me with those newer tires and didn't run me over. So I think it really is a testament to how good of a driver he is, how clean he is, and yeah.
All right. Well, congrats on the second place. You and Brody put on one hell of a show at the end, so be proud of that.
It was fun, man.
And we'll move on to our winner, Brody. You haven't made many races this season. In fact, this might be only your second or third race of the season, but you get it done over drivers who have won many races in this league. Take us through it as you were battling with Big Jim all the way down to the wire at the end.
Yeah, Jim and I had a really good race all the way through. I couldn't really tell who had the better car. One run he had the better car and I had the better car. But we definitely were the class of the field, and I have so much respect for Jim. It was really fun battling with him.
Yeah, early on in the race, there was all these different strategies going on. Obviously, because it's a two-stopper for the halves, it made the strategy a little bit more unique. Were you kind of caught off guard when Big Jim went long all those other runs, and then all of a sudden the last run he kind of undercut everyone?
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising, but I understood why he did it. Giving up the lead, he just wanted to minimize his time lost. So yeah, I understand why he did it. It did throw me off, though, and that's why I came down pit road the next lap, just to make sure I wouldn't get away from him.
And were you guys aware of the battle that was happening for fourth at that moment that maybe kind of swayed some strategy? Because there were 3 cars under a blanket. Looked like they were going to wreck about 50 times in 2 laps. Did that ever sway any decision making? Maybe not come down pit road in case the yellow came out?
Jim, did you have an idea about that going on? Because I certainly didn't.
I didn't hear. I mean, we were in the party with them, but I didn't hear anything.
Oh, they were going at it. I mean,
I'll interrupt for a minute. We were talking about some very.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention at all. That's probably why we wrecked almost 50 times. But
it
hey,
was so funny.
it was fun.
I was like, man, if they're in the party and they're hearing this battling, they might not want to pit. But apparently that never came into a factor. So that just made it easier for the leaders, I guess. But congrats, Brody, on the win. Very fun battle with Big Jim. I mean, this was an amazing day for racing. So congrats on the win.
Thank you.
And we will move on to the next race on the schedule. It's Homestead. It's the final race before the chase. Brendan, I'm pretty sure basically all the spots are nearly locked up, or if locked up, so...
Yeah, so the current situation is everyone in the top 9 before today's race was locked into the chase. With LT being 10th, him starting today, he should be locked in.
Yes.
Now, Tiger is not in the top 12, so he is, or not in the top 10, so he is the wild card. Right now, Pens is in that 12th spot, technically 11th. With Koala not racing today, him behind him, this basically seals Penn being in the playoffs, depending on if someone outside the top 10 wins and has at least 5 starts and is in the top 25 in points.
There you go.
So
it might take a miracle for someone, but we've seen miracles happen. So
it'll take a miracle, but I'd say the playoff field or chase field is pretty much locked.
Well, there you have it from the league owner himself. Thank you for that update, because I was kind of wondering what the situation was going to look like entering Homestead. So that is the final race before we get to the chase. Homestead's the final race of the regular season. There are some playoff points, chase points on the line. Entering that, obviously, Big Jim will get a nice chunk of points after winning the Tough Track Challenge. So that'll be good for him entering the last 5 races of the season. So Eli, incredible race from Darlington. Do you have any final thoughts about the race?
Just great racing all around, clean, just fun battle from the beginning to the end.
There you have it. I think that's a very simple way to put it, but also a good way to put it. Thanks everyone for watching the Elite Racer Series from Darlington. Thanks once again to our sponsors Double G Construction and Roofing and Richmar Florist for keeping the league going. Appreciate that for sure. Thanks for the support for the Elite Racer Series. Join us next week at the same time for the final race of the regular season at Homestead. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys then.